When people talk about the promises of God and the good stuff that He has in store for us, what kinds of things do you think of? And what does that look like to you?
Well, to me, when I think about the promises of God, I think about things that I get to grasp hold of because I believe in Jesus, and so I'm welcomed into that family. So the promises, if you look back to Genesis, like that the Lord is with you and He won't forsake you. He's there. Like these are promises I get to hold on to, like current day, like 2020. And that's just a comforting thing to me, to be able to hold on to the things of the Lord.
One of the things that the Bible always says is we are to help one another. We're a part of a body. You know, one person may be a hand that can go grab things. One person may be a foot that can walk to places. Well, I have a car, and I can give people who don't have cars rides, and I've done that plenty of times.
Pretty much my whole life, God has always been working in it, even when I didn't realize He was. I believe His promise is to love His children and provide for them, even when they don't realize they need His help.
So, when I think of the promises of God, I really see an image first, and I see the image of a rainbow. And I remember when Noah was on the ark, and God promised that He would never destroy the earth again. And I just hold on to that promise that no matter how crazy the world feels, or if it's the end of the world, or if nothing's going right, like He has that promise that He still loves us, even when we make mistakes, even if it's going crazy. I just really appreciate that, and that He's there for us through thick and thin.
There's a promise that the Lord will provide. The Lord provides for the birds, the trees, the people of this world. Like He will provide for me, even when circumstances and worldly things say that He won't. Like He gets to be my hope, and I get to trust in that promise and the hope that comes with it. Like my hope is not in the things of this world, but my hope is in Jesus, and He will always be faithful, and He will always provide, and He will always see past the things that are just fleshly, but like He sees into my heart. And those are the promises I get to hold on to.
And I just really appreciate that. The Lord promised that if we believe in Jesus Christ, we put our faith in Him and are baptized, and we live that faith, we're covered. And to me, that's just such a blessing and an encouragement, knowing that when Jesus sees us, He doesn't see all of our flaws, all of our mistakes. That grace covers us.
When I think about the promises of God, I think about the family that I've been invited into by believing in Jesus. I'm accepted into His family, and I have the Holy Spirit inside of me.
I have a car, and it's good and running well. One way that I serve other people is I give them rides. But there are other areas that I'm not so good at. I'm not so mechanical in nature. So if I need something fixed and I don't want to pay someone a whole bunch of money, I know people who can help me fix things. So just knowing that people have your back and that we're all on the same team definitely I feel, is a fulfillment of that promise.
And so as I read through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelations, there are different promises that I just get to claim over my life. The promise that He will never leave me nor forsake me, that like His cloud goes before me and His fire stays after me. Like He is with me at all times, and that's a promise I get to hold on to and claim into my life in 2020. It doesn't just apply to the Old Testament, to those people, those specific people. It applies to God's children and His people, and I'm a part of that.
Often says in the Older Testament that if you tithe, God will protect you from the devourer. Now, I can't really point out what that looks like, but I've known plenty of people who have money problems who have fulfilled their end of the bargain, and every single time, if they needed money for food or money for a bill, money always seems to show up at the right time to help these people get through everyday stresses.
God was always working in my life even before I was born. I found out that my mom was dating a guy before she met my dad, and ended up getting pregnant with him. And then when my dad met her, he married her and said that he's in love with me just like his own. But I didn't find out about this until I was 23. And one time I was asking God to give me a new name, part of a Beltway boot camp that I went to. And for the longest time, God always just told me, I already gave you a new name. And it took me about 4 years to realize that my new name was the name I got when I was born, with my adopted father, basically. And that's an example of how God has made promises for me my whole life without me even realizing it.
Well, if you want to look at the big picture, the ultimate goal is to live with Him in heaven for all eternity, to have eternal happiness, no suffering whatsoever.
And when I think about the promises that have yet to come and been yet to be fulfilled, I think about in Revelations a time of like mourning, no more mourning, no more pain, and like this fleshly body will be no more, but I will get to be with Jesus. That is a comfort that I get to hold on to when the world seems hard and seems against me and I feel weak and I feel broken. Like, it's not, promises are things that I can hold on to when I don't feel that everything's okay, when I don't feel like I can go on or complete the task or win. Promises are things that I get to hold on to, because even if I don't feel I will win, the Lord has promised that He has already overcome the world. So I get to look back and I get to put my hope in the promises that the Lord has said, because my hope isn't in this world or the things of this world. My hope is in Jesus, and Jesus never fails. He never lets me down. Like, Jesus hears me, He sees me, He cares for me, He knows me. And those are promises that I just get to claim and rejoice in, because my hope is in Jesus.